All right, welcome to today's press conference. We will start with questions in the room here with head coach Troy Taylor.
Just kind of what's kind of your message to Ashton after obviously costly.
Love him, care about him, and he played his heart out trying to make a play there. Obviously, it was not what we wanted or he wanted. I know he'll regret that one, but we had other opportunities. That obviously was a big play, but I feel for him because I know he's hurting.
The highs and the lows of that fourth quarter. Can you take us through what that was like coaching this game?
Yeah, I think really proud that our guys have competed all year, and getting the turnover and making some key plays on offense. Really proud of our guys, and they've really battled all year. It's one thing I can say is that these guys gave everything they had. Our seniors, guys, when I first got here, there was a lot of people that in the transition that we lost. Guys that transfer, we lost 23 guys over 2 years, 13 starters our first year and 6 the second. These guys stayed and battled because they love their teammates and they love Stanford. So I appreciate everything they've given. I feel for them. They got their last game in Cardinal Stadium as a win. I was hoping their last game. We were doing everything we could, and we came up a little short as a coaching staff. We came up a little short as players, and it's painful.
Yeah, just talk about kind of the second half. You guys did a lot better. Second, obviously the end was nothing, but that second quarter was really a challenge. What kind of adjustments did you make it happen to kind of curb them down?
Yeah, we we're really struggling to run the football. We weren't able to run it at all, so really committed to we're going to throw the football and get ourselves back in this game, because actually our guys, although we weren't running the ball well, we were able to protect pretty well. So offensively, just committing more to throwing the ball, and I thought Ash made a lot of plays with his legs. And then defensively, it was kind of one of those bend but don't break evenings. They moved the ball, looking at the statistics, and kind of pretty consistently. But we were able to make some plays, the turnover on the fumble, and then the interception down in the red zone. We were able to get some key stops.
Harold, we'll take your question.
Hi, Coach. Just wondering, what's the message kind of going into the offseason for the players?
Yeah, well, this was really just about, there was no message in terms of next season. It was just appreciation for the seniors and recognizing them and hurting for those guys. But the message will be, in a couple of days, we get back to work and that recruiting that doesn't stop, and really trying to make an impact and bringing in some older guys, some transfers, and to make an impact on this team to kind of help the younger guys. We got a good nucleus of young players. Unfortunately, we're just playing a lot of young guys, and we need to get some veteran guys as well.
Coach, you mentioned the numbers of the guys that have left. Do you approach this offseason any different, or with the experience that you've had here, does that change anything you're doing this offseason?
Yeah, I think when we first got here, then you had just an influx of losing those guys. You're trying to get the young guys ready. You're recruiting guys to stay, and then you're competing, and then you start recruiting for the future. And so getting high school guys and bringing them in. And so we've done that for 2 years. I think the message is, we do have to be able to get some mid-year guys in here to be able to compete in college football. The transition of you can look at any program and you look at the amount of mid-year guys that come in each year. It's pretty astounding. So you're playing against 23, 24-year-old guys. It's just hard to do with really young players. And I looked out there and we had 3 true freshmen in the secondary at one point. And so I think that's the thing that's been really clear to me is we've got to be able to supplement with some mid-year guys to come in here, and I think our school is committed to bringing in great student athletes that are mid-year transfers.
Is there logistical challenges or changes that have to be made there, or is it just being more aggressive?
Yeah, no, I think it's a lot of it's just the process. It's the process in college football is so quick, and everything happens really quickly, and so we're adjusting, I think, but we're also, maintaining that academic prestige and integrity that we have. So we're very aggressive in it and finding, the transfer portal open up in December 9th. And there's already guys in it right now from different levels, but we've been working really hard at it.
Just kind of freak out though, what kind of is the process like transport wise, like when you guys, just how do you kind of go evaluating guys, how much does the administration kind of let you know whether or not a guy is?
Yeah, so there's a process, there's a process of obviously you evaluate them as a player because you really don't know where they are academically, right? Until you get the transcript. So you evaluate them as a player, and if they're good enough, then here, they got to be an outstanding student. It's got to be really important to them. And so then there's that process where we see that they're a good enough student, and then if that works and they're a good citizen and meet all those requirements, and then we move forward. But it's got to happen fast,
You guys just had a heck of a football game and 4 days of signing day. How different is that? What else has changed with that process for you guys?
Yeah, we've been recruiting really that class since we arrived. Especially at Stanford, you got to get on the guys early, because they got to take the right classes and those type of things. So we've been building that class for a really long time. And then on Wednesday we'll sign them, and then we'll get them in and continue to develop them. But we're really excited about those individuals, and hopefully they sign and they becomes reality. But proud of these seniors really that are leaving, and we'll bring in some cards that are really good and represent the university as well.
Harold?
I know in the beginning of the season you talked about how much more depth the team had compared to last year, but the last touchdown, the winning touchdown, was scored against I think a walk-on cornerback. And
Yeah.
Evan, not that the coverage was bad, but he's a walk-on quarterback. Is that kind of a sign that you guys still need to kind of work on bolstering that depth going into next year?
There's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt. Our depth. I think the first year we didn't really have depth, and this year, our depth was definitely tested, and we got some injuries early to some players in the secondary. And at that point, when you're playing against especially a team that's adept at throwing the ball and throwing a lot, you need to have a lot of DBs. So for sure, we definitely need to get some more guys in here that can compete at this level, and we're committed to doing that.
Are there certain areas of the team that you feel need the most focus going into the offseason?
Yeah, I think, obviously we got to get depth at the defensive back, I would say, and then offensive line, we really got to, improve that and get some depth and some guys that can come in and help immediately. When I first got here, we lost 6 starting offensive linemen that went other places. And so some of these guys were forced into playing, and they competed and gave us everything they had. But I think today, you just saw we didn't run the football very well. We had some opportunities inside the 5 where we weren't able to come off the ball and move people. And, if you're going to win games and eventually championships, you got to be really good up front. And we're a little off on that, but I think the effort's there, but we've got to get some guys in to be able to compete up front for sure.
How much of a benefit do you think it would be for the young guys who have gotten the point that they get?
Yeah, I think it's good for sure, because they can, a guy like Khalil House that's played as a true freshman, he can see, okay, I got some ability, but I got a ways to go, and getting stronger and bigger, and understanding my technique and all those things that make good players. So, hopefully we get to the point in our program where young guys don't have to play like they did the last 2 years, that we'll get some experienced guys, and then those guys will grow up, and then that combination will kind of make for a deeper, deeper team that's more experienced.
Any other questions for Coach Taylor?
All right, thank you. Go Cardinals.
Thank you. That'll be the end of today's press conference.